Hey guys, it's College here. We are back with another great adventure update, both on Project 2026 and on the rest of the park. So pretty much a vlog. Today is Thursday, July 24th, and there's been quite a bit of progress on the new attraction ever since my last time visiting. I, of course, am starting down here as usual, and they haven't really made it down here yet. We still have the markers back here, of course, but pretty much nothing else besides that. It's been pretty quiet down here, but obviously it seems like they're going to start down there and then work their way all the way back here, however far back it winds up going. It's kind of unclear if it's going to go all the way to where Cos Tower once was, but it's probably going to get pretty close. But like I said, we're going to continue to move up as we make our way over there. But you can see, it looks like some of the bamboo that was dead has been cleared out, that's for sure. It does appear that Ka and Lantern's track pieces are still here as well. You can see the Lantern track over there, and then Kaz is still right there as well. So in time, we'll see them get moved. I'm sure they're supposed to be going into the safari, but we're gonna go take another view from a better spot to show you guys the tons of holes that have been dug for the footers of the new attraction. And even from just back here in the parking lot, you can see the tons of holes that have been dug. They're digging them right now too, which I kind of figured because today's a weekday. You're typically gonna only see them work on weekdays, but looks like they've got two machines going at once and they're just going to town. It looks like they've got holes pretty much all the way up to the security gate here at gate 2. Like I said, we'll get a better view from probably inside the park by the boardwalk and Superman as well. But this is really, really exciting, guys. Now here we are at the front gate. I'm not going to be here very long. I really pretty much just came to see the construction because this is one of the only times I'll be able to actually see it. But I'm also going to check and see what's going on around the park. As far as I know, Jersey Devil is back open from its closure that it had. And I saw Flash testing because Flash has also been closed for a few days. So promising that we could see all of them reopen. And as I was looking at rides going by, there's nobody on anything. Look at Superman's train. Not very many people. Toro had maybe the first car filled and that was it. So maybe I'll try to sneak in a couple rides today too. I hear that music and I hear the scream, so I think Flash has reopened. That's awesome. This is the first weekday I have seen them have the Looney Tunes characters out here in front of the sign. That's really cool. Inside the park, it is very, very empty. I mean, look how empty the midways are. This is crazy. I mean, it's a Thursday. There were a few school buses out in the lot, not too many though. And it's gonna be a little hot today, so that could be why, but I mean, it's been about an hour since the park opened and there's no one here. It's crazy. And it seems like the pattern of adding banners to the different areas of the park is continuing over here by the big wheel or giant wheel with these banners promoting the show it has, Enchanted Illuminations, which is really, really nice to see. As usual, just ate at my favorite food place here, Mama Flora's. Gonna make a quick lap through this side of the park to see if anything has changed, and then we'll head over to what you guys are waiting for, of course, which is the update on Project 2026. First update down here in Movie Town, the Batmobile is back in its original location. I do like it better there. I thought having it off to the side was a little weird. And it looks like they opened that area up now, so you can kind of just like walk in there, do whatever. That used to be a smoking area. Hopefully people don't try to use that as a smoking area again, because obviously smoking is not allowed in the park anymore. But this is nice. There it is in all its glory, nice and sharp looking. Yeah, it's definitely better over here. It is interesting, they wound up getting rid of all the pavers in here. You can see where they stopped and replace it with mulch because of what they did with the plants. So now the Batmobile is just sitting on some mulch. Walking down here through the Pine Barrens, like I said, not really too much has changed over here. You can see Jersey Devil going strong over there. Like I said, it reopened, which is great to see. Roaring Rapids does still stand as the only operational water ride at this time. No word on when Log Flume may reopen, hopefully sooner than later, but at least Roaring Rapids is a good ride. So it does kind of pain me to walk past Devil and not go on because there's literally no line. But at the same time, I just don't feel like dealing with the hassle of going and getting a locker. If this had double-sided lockers, and it's not even just because they're free, it's more so the convenience of it, where you don't have to go out of your way and take your credit card out and all of that. You can just walk right in the queue, drop your stuff and go. I really, really hope of all rides this gets those double-sided lockers. If it does, I'd ride it all the time, but I just can't bring myself to ride it that much without them. Over here, Barnstormer, there might have been a little bit of progress. I don't actually know in all honesty, but the other car is long gone. All the pieces of it are not here either, other than that right there. So they're definitely backstage. So behind this game stand that I don't really like over here by Primo's, they did put this planter, and I don't know how new it is, but it looks nice at least. I gotta give props to Great Adventures landscaping team because they have crushed it this year in terms of foliage and flowers. The park is honestly looking better than it has in a long time. I mean, just look at this. It looks beautiful. Now we're venturing down Superman Island to go get you guys your update on Project 2026. I still haven't decided what I'm gonna call it yet because you guys left a lot of very funny suggestions, I will say that. Some I definitely will not be able to use, but we'll figure something out. All right, we've made it. Let's see what's going on. Got to get to my spots in the fence here. You can look here, you're not really gonna see much, just mounds of dirt. Let's see, can we get it through? A little bit of rubble there, and look at all that rebar. Wow. Look at all those footers with the wow, they are really moving fast. Here's another look through one of these holes. So you can see plenty of these footers right there, and I'm gonna try to pan. Can you see the rebar? Not really, but there's a ton of rebar sitting right here by where Twister was, and you can see workers are on site. They are actively working. So it seems to me they're trying to go full steam ahead for this thing, get those footers done as fast as possible. That way, once tracking supports arrive, they can just start rolling with it. Here's a really good angle for you guys of what's going on over there. You see a couple of footers sitting right here, rebar that will become footers. You can see the machine in the back going there. You see some guys standing over there as well. There's one guy in a hole, actually. Yeah, look at that. They got all kinds of stuff going on in here. He's digging it out right now. Give him credit, because it's a hot day to be doing this. Huge shout out to you guys. You guys are killing it. Yeah, there's the markers aligned with some of the footers. They're everywhere. So if we're thinking about how this is gonna pan out in terms of the coaster itself, this is probably gonna be the station. What this looks like to me, based off the width, is a setup for a dual load station. Think something like Mr. Freeze, where there's two station platforms side by side with the track in the center. That's kind of what this looks like to me. Maybe not exactly like the way Mr. Freeze is, but it's probably gonna be fairly similar if I had to guess. Another view where you can see a little bit more on the left-hand side. Going pretty far over. So like I said, given that my assumption is correct and this is a station platform, it's gonna be a fairly wide setup, that's for sure. Now from a little further down, kind of closer to where parachutes were, you can see all the rebar they have stacked up here ready to go. There's a lot of it. Wow. Some wood as well, presumably for, what's it called, forms. Yeah, look at that. Dumpster over there as well. They got their tent set up. So just so you guys have some perspective, everything is pretty much to the right of where I'm standing. And I'm standing right here, pretty much directly across from that midway that goes down to the go-karts. And straight through here is where you can find what I'm looking at right now, right there. From here, you can actually get a great view of how far wide it actually goes. Pretty much right there is where it stops. You can see that guy in the one hole right there, and those footers that are, well, the rebars that have been formed right there. That's as far out as it goes towards Superman, seemingly. And they're using the rest of this as a staging area. And all those holes kind of follow that path going straight down, kind of running almost parallel to Ka, if that makes sense. So it's not looking like it's gonna go directly in the plot of Ka. It's just kind of moved over to the left a little bit and following that same general path. But these are very, very exciting times to see this finally happening and happening so quickly. I mean, they did all of this in like a week. That is super impressive. Shout out to these guys. They are crushing it. I believe they're from Sunrise. Great job. And I can't wait to see how far they get in the next week or so. We're gonna go over to Superman. I am actually gonna ride Superman, which if you guys know, that doesn't happen very often because I don't like Superman very much, but that is the ride that will probably give us the best view of this. Obviously, I can't show you guys what it looks like on the ride, but from in the queue, we'll be able to see all the holes, that's for sure. Here we go again through the Superman rave tunnel. Today we got Fall Out Boy playing in here. I can almost sit in here all day and just listen to the music because it is so good in here. Here comes my favorite ride. There it goes. That shock as you turn the corner and just see that. Wow, that is a lot of work they have done. That's impressive. You can see that, like I said, they've gone pretty much down to gate 2. So it seems like they have one crew digging the holes. That's why there's so many giant dirt mounds up there. And then further back, just where we can't see, that's where the rebar crew is, kind of getting all of that done. At least that's just my assumption. But this is awesome to see. Wow. Really, really great view from over here. You can see like a mix of dirt and then just like rubble as well. So maybe that's from old footers from the many rides that used to be over there. There's the gang right there doing some more rebar work, it looks like. It's impressive how far they've gotten in just a very little amount of time. So for any of you saying that they were never planning on opening this in 2026, it's not gonna happen, I think this serves as evidence that they are pushing. They are really, really trying to make sure that this thing is open next year. They know they need it next year. I mean, this ride, what it's gonna do for the park, hopefully, is kind of on the same level of what Great American Scream Machine did for the park back in 1989. The park, I mean, I'm not saying the park is as bad as it was back then, but this was following a series of incidents and just attendance decline back then. And when Scream Machine opened right over here, it really did save the park. And obviously the park is not in detrimental shape or anything right now, but it's hurting a little bit. We lost a lot of rides, and the new one over there is truly going to be the new Great American Scream Machine in terms of what it needs to do for the park. You even get a nice view of it all the way up here from Superman Station, just holes and people everywhere getting this thing moving. As we were riding Superman, I noticed a lot of mark out from over here that kind of goes this way. That's looking like electrical to me. And then up by the front entrance as well, next to Superman's exit tent, there was a ton of that similar mark out as well. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. It's probably just like electrical system upgrades, if anything. Probably nothing in terms of like new development, but you never know. But riding Superman and seeing the size of those footers, Zach, I know we were both really impressed. They're huge.
Huge footers, and then there was like these 3 giant craters going towards Cop too.
Yes, it's impressive. And that tells me that that's probably gonna be supports to be lateral supports, not just vertical supports, because obviously you're gonna have the vertical supports underneath the track or however it winds up going. Then if you have a really tall element, like, I don't know, a big 0G stall, you're probably gonna have some supports that go out to the side, presumably into the Golden Kingdom. And as I come to this ride every time, I have to wonder what the future of it is gonna be. You guys know, I would so love to see this ride get ripped out because I don't like it. I would be so happy. I wouldn't even need a piece of track for it. I'd just get rid of it. What the more likely option is, at least a temporary option, they're probably gonna retheme this. If I had to guess, next year probably won't be called Superman. That's just a hunch. I mean, I would be really surprised if they put all the investment into the boardwalk area with the new coaster and everything and didn't then go ahead and redo this ride and at least give it a retheme. But then again, there's also the question, why are you gonna retheme it and potentially repaint it or something if you're just gonna rip it out the next year or only a couple years afterwards? So we're gonna have to wait and see. Personally though, I'd love to see this whole area get completely redone, kind of Cedar Point boardwalk style. And hey, maybe we can even get like a little spinning wild mouse to go along with the boardwalk. That'd be pretty cool. And it looks like they have started selling some merch with the new Superman logo for the David Cornsweet James Gunn movie that came out recently, which is really cool to see. Also with the boardwalk, we have to wonder what's gonna happen over here. I mean, these rides, honestly, were kind of assumed to be going soon anyway. A lot of these are starting to get removed across the chain. If I had to guess, this whole area is gonna get completely redone, including the removal of those. I don't know what's gonna happen to the Right Stuff building. I'm still of the belief that they should get rid of it and relocate everything inside elsewhere. I mean, it's not hard to find a location on this property for a giant building not in the dead center of the park because it is a huge eyesore. But I really do hope that they do something cool with this area. I mean, given that, as far as I know, it's probably not gonna be Golden Kingdom. They're probably gonna keep the theme it has. I hope we get something kind of in line with Cedar Point's boardwalk, maybe something, you know, a little more unique given that Great Adventure is so close to the shore. But we'll have to wait and see. We've got some updates on the new Coca-Cola watering hole refill location right here at the annex between Frontier Adventures and Plaza de Carnival. Looks like we have some new rails that have been installed for queue, and it's not open yet. They do have the closed sign out, so hopefully sooner than later we'll see this operational. Over here at Toro, there's a new sign right at the lockers here in the same styling as all the Plaza de Carnival signs, telling you to retrieve locker contents. Toro's been running so good lately. It's flying, it's fairly smooth. If you are in an empty car though, make sure you ride in a non-wheeled seat because otherwise you will feel it, that's for sure. Something I must have missed last time are these new interesting looking fence posts. What I like about this though is that it definitely pays homage to the original entrance. All of these holes in the ground, for those of you who don't know, this was the original entrance to Great Adventure. So in that regard, I think it's pretty cool. Before I leave, I've got some time to go ride Flash. And since I haven't ridden it in actually quite a while, it could be nice to get back on it, see how it rides, see how the audio sounds now that it's all fixed and working good. Over here at Flash, same thing with that new sign, also themed to the ride signs as well. But it was nice to get back on Flash. I haven't ridden it in a while for whatever reason. I think not riding it for a while has made me appreciate it a little bit more because that was really fun. Rode very back row and the audio, it was working. I will say my left speaker in the back left seat was definitely blown out a little bit. I heard some crackling, but hey, I mean, can't complain. The audio is on. So I heard that ices weren't on the snack anymore, but they are. Just come over here. I went to Dream Street and they do count as a snack and you get to mix it up yourself. As I walk out with my icy, that is gonna do it for my brief little visit here to Great Adventure to show you guys progress on Project 2026 and get some rides in too. It was a nice little day. Actually, is that a new penny press? False alarm. Kilimanjaro are still on there. But Zach, how was your quick visit?
Quick visit, as you said. Toro Flash and Superman. Great day.
Superman.
Superman. Yeah, I know. I know you would like to see that thing get absolutely ripped out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. But with all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye, guys.